Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
I got young Levi's heart because of a tragic story. It's I cry every.
A Nebraska man blessed with the heart of a North Dakota teenager who was taken far too soon. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. The heart belongs to 18-year-old Levi Schultz, a Horace, North Dakota teenager who went to school in West Fargo. He died in 2012, but his death helped dozens of others live. Today, Levi's mom got to hear her son's heart beat for the first time in 4 years.
The heart of a much younger man pumps in the chest of 64-year-old Terry Hooper.
Every day, every minute, every hour, all the time. I get up, I thank him. Go to bed, I thank him.
It's always been Terry's hope to meet the family of his donor, Levi Schultz.
2 months after Terry's transplant, he wrote to Levi's family. And just a few months after that, he got a response. And for a few years, this is how they corresponded. That is, until today.
Oh my God.
Hey, how you doing?
It's so nice to meet you. You can't cry though, okay? Because then we won't get through this. Okay?
Levi's mother Lisa and twin brother Shelby in from North Dakota. And after the hugs, they share the stories behind the donation.
And he says, "Mom, who wouldn't want my awesomeness?"
Levi's words before signing up to be a donor. Then in 2012, after getting a flat tire, he was hit on the side of the road by a pickup, killed almost instantly. At the same time here in Nebraska, Terry's heart, after years of problems, was giving out.
And 52 days later, I got young Levi's heart because of a tragic story. It's I cry every.
Plenty of tears Friday inside Nebraska Medicine, especially when Lisa and Shelby heard Levi's heart for the first time since his passing.
Really good. It definitely sounds like it belongs there.
The sound captured and placed into a bear for them to hear anytime they want.
Got all that awesomeness.
Yeah, there you go.
With producer Roger Hamer, Aaron Murray, Valley News Live.
Terry is so quick with a joke. Lisa says that's the way Levi was. And Terry swears that quality is something he gained when he got Levi's heart. But that wasn't Levi's only donation. He donated most of his organs, skin, and eyes, in total helping close to 60 people. A chilly day out there with the wind and the cooler temps. Is there anything we need to worry about this evening? Here's meteorologist Justin Fanfarelli with First Weather. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea. Good evening, everybody. So we saw a few passing clouds this morning, mainly clear skies in the Southern Valley later on in the day, and that got temperatures near 40 degrees, a little cool for this time of year. Now, as we take a look at the satellite, we see the clouds increase as we approach the Devil's Lake area, and up in that direction, we are dealing with some snow showers out there, especially from Jamestown all the way north up toward Langdon. This activity will start to move off to the south and off to the east over the next several hours, affecting portions of the Red River Valley. And after we get rid of that system, behind it, very windy conditions. A wind advisory goes into effect tonight, 10 p.m., lasts until daybreak tomorrow with winds northwest 25 to 35 miles per hour, gusting to 50 miles per hour. So we're going to keep the breezy conditions as we go through tonight. A mix of some rain and possibly some snow showers out there as temperatures fall back into the upper 30s by 9 and 10 p.m., then back into the mid 30s by around midnight. We're going to have an up and down weather trend in terms of temperature and moisture over the next week, and we'll time everything out for you coming up later in the newscast.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Yep.
A 40-year-old Fargo man is arrested in connection with an early morning shooting in Grand Forks on Tuesday. Otis Maxwell is charged with attempted murder, robbery, and aggravated assault. He allegedly hit David Gomez with a gun while robbing him and shot him in the upper body. Gomez has been released from Altru Hospital. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us all the latest details in this case.
Multiple gunshots rang out on the 1100 block of North 39th Street at 2 a.m. Tuesday that left David Gomez wounded. Police now say 3, maybe 4 men drove away from the scene, but they were able to arrest the alleged shooter in less than 48 hours. Otis Maxwell was actually arrested Wednesday night here at this Grand Forks hotel after police received tips from witnesses. They've been able to hold him in jail since then because of outstanding warrants out of Cass County for non-payment of child support. It's still not clear what motivated the shooting, although police say both parties knew each other.
Any indication this was a drug deal gone bad or something like that?
That's still part of the open and active investigation, trying to figure out exactly what it was that caused this to go down.
These folks knew each other?
Yep, they were acquainted.
Lieutenant Johnson says they're still searching for 2, maybe 3 other suspects that were with Otis Maxwell at the time of the shooting. However, he says, since everyone apparently knew each other, this was not a random act, and the suspects still at large don't pose a threat to the general public.
And then we're seeking out everybody that was involved. We want to make sure that we get down to the bottom of how and why this happened and make sure that anybody that was involved is held accountable.
If you have any information about this case, you're asked to contact police immediately. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
If he's convicted, Otis Maxwell faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison on each of the attempted murder and robbery charges, plus 5 years on the aggravated assault charge. It's Friday and time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 32-year-old Abdul Turay is wanted for felony sexual assault. Turay is about 5'6", 160 pounds. We have his picture there on your screen. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on this man. How far should a person go to ensure safety in today's world? A UND professor has been in the spotlight recently after she called police to report seeing gunmen on campus. Those gunmen were ROTC cadets. She was later condemned and asked to apologize.
Carrying a demonstration rifle out in public without it being in its case would probably cause people to be concerned.
Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, given the circumstance, we take a closer look and asked the Fargo School District about its policies for junior ROTC and if there's a sensitivity with students practicing with fake rifles. Zandbroz in downtown Fargo served as the backdrop for U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp's event as she wants to create a new policy for paid family and medical leave. About a dozen or so people listened as Senator Heitkamp and fellow Senator Kirsten Gillibrand talked about their proposal. The Family Act aims to support working families and small businesses who may otherwise have a hard time providing resources to their employees. When workers go on paid leave, it can save businesses time and money that would otherwise be spent on hiring new employees. You will likely, once again, be seeing a lot of blue in our community over the next several days. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And today, Child Abuse Prevention Awareness got a very visual start and kickoff with a walk through Island Park. Representatives of a number of local child advocacy groups and agencies took the noon hour stroll, showing their blue to draw attention to the child abuse issue and to emphasize the importance of strong parenting practices.
I think that our area has an awareness that the problem exists, certainly, and that children are abused, unfortunately, every day in our region. I'm not sure that people really understand the amount that there is, the number of children that are abused.
As part of the local activities, gardens and pots of blue pinwheels will be popping up throughout the community to underline the importance of the child abuse prevention issue. And next Friday, a week from today, you can show your support for North Dakota's children by wearing the color blue. A multi-day relay for cancer research in the Valley is starting soon. Relay for Life begins tonight at 6 and runs until Saturday morning in the Spartan Dome. Teams of Fargo North High students, staff, and cancer survivors have raised pledges and will be walking laps in the school's gymnasium around the clock. All the proceeds raised will be donated to the American Cancer Society, an organization that helps support cancer research. Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, we'll take you to the event with a live report from Valley News Team's Natalie Parsons. It's 2 nights full of fun and excitement. The PRCA Championship Rodeo is back at the Fargo Dome. This weekend, more than 200 top professional contestants will be competing to go to the Wrangler National Finals. Bareback riding, steer wrestling, and bull riding are just a few of the events. The entertainment may also have you on the edge of your seat.
You're never going to see the same show, and that's what's entertaining about rodeo. And it's a great family event. It's based on our Western heritage, and to get to bring that to town and folks to get to see some of the top athletes in our game, not only the cowboys but the livestock, it's a great show to come and see.
The Fargo Dome will be giving away tickets to Garth Brooks and We Fest at tonight's show. For ticket information, go to valleynewslive.com and click on the Hot button. It's the beginning of a new month, or as many refer to it, April Fool's Day. And we wanted to know what you think of the day. So we started a poll online asking, on April Fool's Day, are you the prankster, the one falling for everything, the skeptic, or ready for April 2nd? Here's a live look at our results. As you can see, the popular choice is ready for April 2nd. There's still time to add your vote by heading to valleynewslive.com. You'll find the poll on the right-hand side of the page. If you